few years ago, I did a video on what I carry as an everyday carry firearm, as in pistol. And at the time, I was carrying a revolver. Needless to say, I'm a huge revolver fan still, huge 1911 fan. But at the time, I stated I was carrying a revolver because I just couldn't put the time that I felt was needed to be really competent with a semi-auto into my practice routines. Even though there was a time when I thought I practiced a lot, I wasn't getting out and shooting like I normally could. Life kind of gets a hold of you, kids, work, everything else. So I carried a revolver, and I never ever felt like I wasn't carrying something that could do the job. I never felt underprepared. I carried a mix of 5-shot, 6-shot, 8-shot revolvers, and I felt totally adequate at all times.
Chiappa Rhino and 357.
So while I love my revolvers and my 1911s, my old eyes and the very strange times we're living in have led me to look for, first off, a platform to mount a red dot on, and also something with a lot more capacity than my 1911s and my revolvers, which inevitably leads you to the world of Glock. Now, again, I've had a Glock 21 for 3 decades. It's a hammer. I love the gun, but it was always something that I used as a bedside gun. You know, something that I knew would always be there, didn't really care about, and it was just a very reliable animal. So I needed to find a good platform for RMRs and red dots. RMR, of course, being the Trijicon variant. I think that if you're going to start milling slides or buying custom slides, the RMR is probably the most likely candidate from all the information I've garnered. Trijicon really kind of has that RMR market, you know, very secured. I'm far from a stranger to red dots. On ARs, I've been shooting red dots for decades. Used to be red dots on ARs were thought of as gadgets, but that's obviously not the case. Every AR platform usually runs some type of red dot. This AR that my good friend Lester Knight, my gunsmith, helped me build, I mounted the Vortex Razor on that, a better optic, and I'm used to some great glass. It would be hard to find. This battle rifle is awesome, and I've been combining a lot of AR and shotgun work with my pistol craft.
Shoot! 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 Shooter ready.
Ready.
Oh, 0.78. Shooter ready.
Ready.
All right, good, brother.
To get back to the pistol craft. Glocks. I wanted something a little out of the ordinary. I do like my custom things. So my search led me to a gentleman named Chris Harris, Praetorian Firearms in Florida. Chris has this great way of finding really hard to get parts, especially Zev stuff. We started out, again, because I'm trying to burn and learn the muscle memory to acquire the red dot sight picture. I wanted to do a lot of range work, so we started out with a 34. Sure this is clear. It is. This is a Glock 34. I think it is a Gen 4. This has been totally gone over and built by Chris. All Zev parts. This is a Zev prize fighter slide, RMR cut, of course, a Zev barrel, Zev trigger, Zev everything. All internals. Chris really nicely undercut and stippled this frame. Big Zev magwell, and this became my experiment. I like to duplicate my house gun and my carry gun as the same platform. I wanted to, again, shoot a lot. This seemed like a great platform to start and to start burning my muscle memory in. Put together a war belt or a range belt or whatever you want to call it. This is a tourniquet, trauma shears, my AR clips, extended mags on here, a small fixed blade. There's a little Bradford, it stays on there. Basically, I would call it a speed holster, but more of a range-oriented competition holster. Some shotgun shell holders, depending on what tool I'm playing with that day. And I started to burn the muscle memory and learn how to use a red dot sighted pistol a little bit more than I did on my TRR-8.
The first pistol I mounted a red dot to was a Smith & Wesson TRR-8, and I really liked it. This was the first time out shooting it.
Go.
Say when.
When? Shooter ready?
Ready.
1.15.
And believe it or not, I grew to really like it.
We are starting with the 34.
Okay.
I've had custom 1911s and custom work done on revolvers my whole life, and they're very reliable. This gun, every gun I get goes into Lester Knipe. Lester's my gunsmith since I'm 15 years old, and I'm 50 something now. Lester got this gun in, did some polishing, some fine tuning, deemed it what he would call reliable, and in a couple thousand rounds now, this gun has never had a malfunction. It runs very well. Chris did a great job building it, a great job assembling the parts, and Lester did an awesome job tuning it. It really is a machine. It's a fantastic gun. So once I started to feel confident, that's when I had to switch my carry gun to a red dot. For that, again, I had Chris, let me get rid of this. Again, all bullets have been taken away. unloaded. So with this, we have a Glock 19. This is a Gen 3. I had asked Chris to slowly try to find some neat parts. He did. He found a Dragonfly slide with a window cut. Really, really rare slide. Trijicon suppressor height sights. This is another, again, Trijicon RMR. This is the one that is non-adjustable for a carry gun. I don't want the case of it being on or off. I just changed the battery out. I'll do it yearly. Undercut, stippled, oversized magwell release. The gun literally fits me like a glove. It shoots incredibly well. Again, this gun came into Lester tuned it, and this gun has not had one malfunction. In the first 30 shots, it had one. We adjusted some springs, and this gun in another probably 1,400 rounds has not had one hiccup. This gun runs like a freight train.
Gotta get under 1 second. Close.
1.15. .05.
Lower. Close.
1.07. Ultra reliable, super smooth. The stippling and the shaping are excellent. Again, just phenomenal. I couldn't be more impressed with it. It's light, it carries well. My old eyes suck, and that red dot is a beacon. It took me a lot of repetition, a lot of draws, but now that red dot comes up every time I poke it out there. It did slow my draw down about 0.40 when I first started playing with them.
Under 2.5.
1.29. But it's slowly dropping back down. I feel confident, and my follow-up shots are much quicker on the red dot.
Nice. That was fucking rocking.
2.06, 1.33 on the first, splits 0.36.
2.06 is where you're at total.
Not bad. First day. So if you're one of these guys that is starting to strain to see the sights, don't, man. Get a good platform, mount an RMR on it, and don't look back. It is the future. They do work phenomenal. Everything takes time. Everything takes motor skills and muscle memory burnt in over and over again. But once you do acquire, they become phenomenal. I'm not going to poke it out right now because my dog's standing over there. But again, holsters. That's probably the biggest, craziest thing to play with. like I said, on this war belt, it was easy to throw just a comp type holster on here. Nothing's fancy. I did, for that 34, did have Garrett holsters out in Texas who does phenomenal Kydex with leather lining. I did have them make me a carry holster for this piece if I ever wanted to carry it. And as big as it is, it carries well, and I have carried it. If you've not seen Garrett's work, honestly, in the world of high-end hybrid holsters, Garrett is a true standout. I can't talk high enough about their work and their speed. Even during the whole COVID epidemic, I think I ordered 5 or 6 different holsters for different firearms for them, and I got all of them within 2 weeks of the time I ordered it. Garrett's customer service is probably some of the best there is in the industry for, just being there. When it comes to the 19, I'm a wacko. I went overboard and I played with a lot of holsters. For leather, Eric at Side Guard just did an incredible RMR cut leather holster. When the weather's not as hot and I have to wear suits every day, this holster will probably be worn a ton because it just pulls into the body well and really, really, really is a beautiful, beautiful, well done leather holster. Other companies that make great holsters. Here's a Garrett Kydex and leather one. My favorite in waistband. I tried the appendix stuff and went with a very good company. And again, I just cannot get used to appendix. That might end up going someplace else. For in waistband, in the summer, it's so hot, you gotta carry in waistband. Probably one of my favorite in waistband holsters that I got for that 19 is this FDO in waistband. I forget the model. It might be like a Frantic or something like, it starts with an F. But this holster, what's neat about it is this bump out on it kicks the holster out, pulling the butt into your body. Fantastic fit. Again, RMR cut, great retention. But this holster, all summer sweating with shorts and a t-shirt untucked. This was my in-waistband holster, worn at 5:30. And again, really, really nice holster. Very impressed with it. Then you have your mishmash of blade tech, you name it. One holster that I have been using a lot is this one. This is the Bravo. And for a Kydex OWB holster that really pulls into the body, this has been a fantastic holster. And now that, I'm sick of the in-waistband stuff, I've been carrying that gun a lot in that Bravo holster. And the price they are is ridiculous, how cheap they are and how good of a holster you get. Again, the good thing about having to learn to use the RMR is I got behind the trigger and I started shooting a lot again, incorporating shotgun and AR drills. Got a little shorty with a brace on it over there, one of those other weapons classified. My 16-inch AR that Lester built is just a machine. The gun shoots incredible. Just, again, training, shooting, muscle memory, burning that RMR into my subconscious. And again, I couldn't be happier. Knives, always carrying around a 3-inch bladed Warncliffe. This is from David Mirabli, my brother. Ended up trading him a Glock for this knife. Actually made me 2 of these. There's gonna be a separate video on both these knives and David's gun that I traded off. These have been pretty much my EDC every day. Worn horizontal on my belt. Here's another one, fantastic. These are cable, the ones from David. If you've never used horizontal sheaths and Velcro to secure them to your belt, up through your belt, wrap around your belt, and you've got a great cross-straw carry system. These were inspired by my buddy John Gray's little warning he made me years ago. This was a favorite EDC and still is. Pretty much that's what I'm carrying these days, and that's why I'm carrying it. My eyes suck. I need a red dot, and the world's a strange, crazy place. And all of a sudden, it makes sense to walk around with 17 rounds, 18 rounds in a gun, and another magazine on you. When in the old days, it used to feel fine just to have a 5-shot on you. So stay safe, practice, shoot, train, and take care. Thanks for looking. Appreciate it.
Special thanks to Chris Harris at Praetorian Firearms, and of course my dear friend Lester Knipe of the Varmint Shop. Without great gun builders and gunsmiths like this, it would be all kind of boring. Special thanks to my good friend Jerry Plum, shown here banging away on the 34. Jerry's 30-year law enforcement and one of the best firearms trainers I've had the pleasure to work with. Support law enforcement. Stay safe, and thanks for looking. Music by George Zajac.
It's fast.